Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am June Martin. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and Free TV. Now the news info. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reiterated the commitment of his administration to ease economic hardship of individuals in our society. Let's quickly go on a very quick break. News cycle continues shortly. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reiterated the commitment of his administration to ease the economic hardship facing Nigerians. The president, who was represented by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, stated this at the commissioning of the newly constructed access road to the informal sector layout in Wasa District, Abuja. He assured Nigerians that the difficult reforms being implemented will pave the way for a more prosperous future. Kabir Hassan reports. We apologize that
President Tinubu, represented by the First Lady, Oloremi Tinubu, said the upgraded city gate featuring a water fountain representing the 36th state and the Federal Capital Territory project the image of a united nation and serves as a befitting gateway to Nigeria's capital. He said the project is part of effort to strengthen national identity while improving the aesthetic of the Federal Capital Territory.
This newly remodeled Abuja city gate, with its beautiful water fountain representing the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, tells every visitor and Nigerians arriving from the airport that they have entered a city built on unity, diversity, and shared aspirations.
The FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, said the transformation of the city gate followed the intervention of the First Lady, who drew attention to the poor state of the monument. He expressed confidence that the remodeled landmark will become a major attraction for residents and visitors.
Today, our city gate has changed. Come here, people can do their marriages here, can do their entertainment here, take pictures, and go and tell them, I am in overseas. The overseas I am is Nigeria.
The remodeled Abuja City Gate is one of several projects inaugurated by the FCT administration to mark the President Tinubu's third year in office and the 50th anniversary of the Federal Capital Territory. Kabir Hassan, Global TV News.
Reactions have trailed the disclosure by the Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, that Nigerian soldiers now earn a minimum monthly salary of 100,000 naira. Veterans and serving personnel describe the amount as grossly inadequate. This is as they accuse President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of failing to implement a salary increment he promised nearly 4 months ago. In line with the concerns, President Tinubu convened a security meeting at the Presidential Villa Abuja, comprising the entire military command, intelligence leadership, and top security advisors. The Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, had said Nigerian soldiers now earn a minimum monthly salary of 100,000 naira following a recent review of their welfare by the federal government. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has described the newly modeled Abuja City Gate as a symbol of Nigeria's unity, diversity, and shared aspirations as it reflects the nation's pride and identity. The president made the remark during the inauguration of the landmark in Abuja. Kabir Hassan reports. We apologize, that report will be brought in our subsequent bulletin. The National Working Committee, NWC, of the All Progressive Congress, APC, alongside top party leaders, is currently meeting at the Continental Hotel in Abuja to formally present Vice President Kashim Shettima as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's running mate for the 2027 presidential election. The development comes amid months of speculations that President Tinubu might replace Shettima with a northern Christian as vice presidential candidate ahead of the election. Senior APC leaders currently at the venue confirmed to our correspondent that President Tinubu has re-nominated Shettima as his running mate and that the party is set to make the announcement official. River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara presented a proposed 1.854 trillion naira appropriation bill for the 2026 fiscal year to the River State House of Abuja. This marks Fubara's first appearance before the Martin Amaewhule-led legislature since the political crisis that divided the assembly in 2023. The presentation followed a motion moved by the majority leader, Major Jack, and seconded by the minority leader, Sylvanus Owankwo, inviting the governor into the chamber after Speaker Amaewhule took his seat. The budget, tagged Budget of Resilience for Growth and Development, the appropriation proposal is aimed at sustaining economic expansion, improving infrastructure, strengthening social services, and driving human capital development across the state. The federal government has assured Nigerians that there is no confirmed case of Ebola virus disease in the country, while unveiling a presidential communication team to strengthen public awareness and emergency preparedness. The reassurance came from the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, during the inaugural meeting of the Communications Subcommittee of the Presidential Task Force on Ebola Virus Disease, Preparedness and Emerging Public Health Threats in Abuja. Sadia Yakubu tells us more.
The Minister for Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, emphasized that while there is no cause for panic, Nigerians should remain alert and rely only on verified information from official government sources.
Let me assure Nigerians that there is currently no confirmed case of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria. Let me repeat, no confirmed case of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria. However, recent developments elsewhere in Africa remind us that infectious diseases know no borders. Our responsibility, therefore, is to remain vigilant while providing accurate information that reassures the public without creating any fear or panic.
Idris commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for establishing the Presidential Task Force, describing it as a proactive measure to safeguard public health through coordinated planning, effective communication, and timely response. He noted that communication remains a critical pillar in managing public health emergencies, recalling Nigeria's successful containment of Ebola outbreak in 2014 through strong leadership, effective surveillance, and sustained public awareness campaigns.
Let me express our profound appreciation to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his foresight in establishing this Presidential Task Force. This proactive decision reflects the administration's commitment to protecting the health and well-being of Nigerians through preparedness, coordination, and timely action. It is always better to prepare before a crisis than to respond after one has emerged.
The minister also disclosed that the National Orientation Agency has commenced nationwide sensitization using approved health messages developed in collaboration with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention. He urged Nigerians to maintain good hygiene, promptly report suspected symptoms to health authorities, and disregard unverified reports capable of causing unnecessary panic. The federal government says preparedness, public cooperation, and accurate information remains essential to protecting the country against Ebola and other emerging public health threats. Sadia Yakubu, Global TV News.
The Imo State Police Command has intensified its crackdown on violent crimes, arresting 184 suspects for kidnapping, terrorism, armed robbery, and other offenses within the last 2 months. Commissioner of Police in Imo State, Abdul Garba Busso, made this known while addressing journalists on the operational activities of the command in the last 2 months. Amarachi Ibe tells us more.
The Commissioner of Police in Imo State, Audu Garba Busso, says sustained intelligence-led operations have yielded major breakthrough in the fight against criminality across the state. He reveals that the arrest of 2 suspected kidnap kingpin led operative to a criminal hideout in the Egbema Rivers Creek, where 7 additional suspects were apprehended and more weapons recovered.
It will be recalled that on 30 June 2026, the command successfully rescued a kidnapped victim in Egbema, who was abducted on 27 June 2026 by the same kidnapping syndicate. Intelligence obtained from the rescue operation, the subsequent arrest of kingpins, and their confessional statements led operative to the suspect hideout, culminating in the latest operation. During the operation, the camp was successfully dislodged and 7 additional suspects were arrested. During the operation, the command recovered 1 AK-47 rifle, 4 AK-47 magazines, 16 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition, 3 locally made cut-to-size gun, 16 live cartridges, 1 empty Beretta magazine, 20 rounds of GPMG ammunition, 1 human skull, and assorted criminal charms.
The Commissioner of Police further says a follow-up operations at the Obiapo swamp uncover more ammunition, while investigations link members of the gang to the killing of 2 personnel of the Imo State Home Security Outfit. The command also announced the arrest of 2 suspects in 2 separate sexual offense cases involving minors in Osu and Ngobala local government areas.
Acting on credible intelligence, operatives of the Imo State Police Command stormed the Obiaku swamps in Ohaji Egbema local government area, where they recovered an additional catchy of 346 rounds of live ammunition, comprising 122 rounds of AK ammunition, 148 rounds of M16 rifle ammunition, and 76 rounds of 96 Beretta pistol ammunition. The operative also recovered 7 magazines comprising 4 AK-47 rifle magazine and 3 M16 rifle magazines, respectively.
CP Bose urges residents to continue providing timely and credible information to security agencies, stressing that public support remains vital in sustaining the fight against crime in the state. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, Global TV News.
You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. News Cycle continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign, and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Glad you could join us. Weather conditions are shaping up for an active day across much of the country as early morning thunderstorms are expected to develop across the northern region, affecting parts of Adamawa, Taraba, Gombe, Bauchi, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Zamfara, Kebbi, and Sokoto State. And across the central region, we also expect light rainfall, while parts of the coastal areas, including parts of Ogun, Abia, Ondo, and Lagos State, are expected to experience scattered showers and thunderstorms. And as the day unfolds, thunderstorm activity is expected to intensify and extend across many parts of the country, bringing periods of rains that are expected to persist through the afternoon and into the evening hours. And with the widespread cloud cover and rainfall, daytime temperatures across the southern cities will remain in their upper 20s. And we expect a continuous drop in both day and nighttime temperatures throughout the weekend. And that's your weather update for Saturday. I am Akemi Samarda.
You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Cycle on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, the federal government has reaffirmed its ambition to expand Nigeria's solid mineral industry 25-fold to about 30 trillion naira, equivalent to approximately $21 billion by 2030, as reforms in the sector continue to attract fresh investments and significantly increase government revenue. The Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of Solid Minerals Development Fund, Fatima Shinkafi, disclosed this while delivering the keynote address titled Building Nigeria's Solid Minerals Future The power of academia, government, and industry in partnership at the maiden Faculty of Physical and Earth Sciences annual lecture series of the University of Lagos. A statement signed by the spokesperson by Solid Minerals Development Fund, Idowu Jakbeyebo, said the federal government's ongoing reforms in the mining sector has increased federation revenue by more than 337% within 2 years, while attracting about $2.6 billion in fresh investment commitments. The International Monetary Fund has projected that global headline inflation will increase from 4.1% in 2025 to 4.7% in 2026. In its July 2026 World Economic Outlook update, the IMF stated that the global economy is currently navigating the cross-currents of the war and technological advancement. The Washington-based lender projected global growth at 3.0% in 2026 and 3.4% in 2027, down from the average of 3.5% recorded in 2024-2025, according to the report shared by the IMF official X handle. The modest slowdown reflects the impact of war in the Middle East, which is being partly offset by accelerated momentum in artificial intelligence adoption. Foreign news now. Military court plays Guinea-Bissau opposition leader August Samius Perserere as prison, according to a security source, as he faces accusations of having tried to overturn the previous government. Pereira, leader of the African Party for the Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde, was detained when the army overthrew President Umaru Sissoco Embalo on November 26 last year. However, he was released in January and had been living under house arrest in Bissau since then. Pereira stands accused of involvement in an attempted October 2025 coup, which he alleged to have helped finance, in addition to separate financial crimes and involvement in a 2023 coup attempt. Iran has laid to rest its former supreme leader Ali Khamenei over 4 months after his killing in an airstrike, as 2 days of U.S. and Iranian attacks raised fears of the return to an all-out war. Khamenei's flag-covered coffin was carried aloof into the shrine of Imam Reza in his home city Mashhad in eastern Iran as a sea of people waited outside and listened to prayers with no sign of public appearance by his son and successor Mujtaba Khamenei. The burial came after a second day of tit-for-tat attack by Washington and Tehran's forces, with Iran officials reporting that U.S. strikes killed 17 people and state media saying one targeted a railway line between Tehran and Mashhad. In sports news, the National Sports Commission has partnered with free-to-air broadcast company What Network to deliver live nationwide coverage of the Gasglow 2026 Commonwealth Games, ensuring millions of Nigerians can follow Team Nigeria campaign at no cost. Director General of the National Sports Commission, Bukola Olapade, described the partnership as a major milestone in connecting Nigerians with their national teams, saying the initiative will allow every citizen to witness Team Nigeria's journey live while inspiring the next generation of sporting champions. Coverage began with the opening ceremony on July 23rd and will run throughout the Games, complemented by daily 2-hour highlight package featuring medal-winning performances, athlete interviews, and exclusive behind-the-scenes report. Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen and Sevilla winger Chidera Ejuke have both returned to their respective clubs to begin pre-season preparations, with the two Super Eaglet stars among several Nigerian internationals easing back into club before following the conclusion of their domestic seasons. Osimhen is expected to resume training with Galatasaray on Friday after being granted an extended break by the Turkish champions following a demanding 2025-26 campaign. The 27-year-old was absent when Galatasaray officially began pre-season earlier this week under head coach Okan Buruk, sparking fresh speculations over his future amid reported interest from Atletico Madrid and clubs in the Saudi Pro League. And that's it on News Prime. Here's a quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and Free TV. Now kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using a Global TV NG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.